Hello boys and girls, it's Sunday afternoon. I thought I'd make a video quickly because some of you have been asking me similar questions on a few things about KODU, and because most of you will have your games due by the end of week 10, which is not long now, I thought I will make this video as a help in case you still are unsure on a few things about KODU. The first one I'm going to do is get into a new world. And remember, for our game work we're doing this term, you need to pick a blank slate. So I'm going to pick on that now. I'm going to add some land just so it's a bit bigger and I can add some characters to show you what I want to talk about today. So the first thing is we'll add 2 characters. For demonstration, I'm going to add the characters we use often, which is a cycle. And I'm going to give you a tip. Some of you have asked, we're going to add a cannon. How can I get the cannon facing the cycle? You see, if I put the cannon here, see the cannon, it's facing backwards? And I'll zoom around so you can have a look. See how it's facing backwards like this? We don't actually want that to happen. Why has that occurred? It's simple. KODU will put the character facing where you're looking. So if I am looking from the cycle, which I did when I placed the cannon, it will face that way. However, if I want it to face the cycle, I have to move around and I have to place it actually facing the cycle. So I'm looking at the cycle when I do it. So we're going to delete this one and I'm going to put the cycle now, and you should see, the cannon, and you should see it's facing the cycle. Cool, right? And that's how you guys can use this in your games as well. So now that we've got the 2, the question I've been getting a lot in the last week and a bit of class is, how do I actually make the health? Now, some of you have forgotten, the first thing you have to do is go to settings. When you go to settings, you have a lot of different options. Some of you have actually tried different options and you found them useful, which is great. To do damage, it is always hit points turned on. And your bar this is really your health bar. KODU does health bar in actual points. So you can make it a big amount or a small amount depending on your game. How you want your damage to occur from shots being fired by an object such as the cannon. So I'm going to make it back to what it was. And you can see sometimes you have to move the smallest amounts to get it just to the point where it is 50. Perfect. All right. So I press escape. We check that this is on. Highlighted in green, it is. Cool. So the second thing we want to do is most of our coding doesn't occur in the cycle. It actually occurs in the cannon. So when I have a look, I'm firstly going to go to this object tool, right click, and program. Firstly, I want to tell the cannon to shoot. So I'm going to say, when I see the character, in our case, our character's a cycle, I'm going to shoot. I could do anything here, blip or missile. I'm going to shoot a missile. As well, you notice this combat area. You can tell the cannon when it shoots that it only stuns the character, it completely knocks out the character, it can make the character explode. We're not going to do that. That's an option for you in your programs. We're just going to make it shoot a missile. Now, if I just leave this be and I press play, we'll see what happens. Right, so on the first missile, it actually kills my cycle straight away. I don't want that at all. And why does this occur? We haven't told the computer and the cannon how much those missiles are actually worth in damage points. The next thing we have to say, when there is a shot that is being done to the cycle, it will damage the cycle by whatever points you decide. So I'm going to make it 10. Now let's see if this works. So I'm going to actually zoom this way, move this around, and let's play it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it took 5 missiles to kill the cannon, the cycle. And that's correct, because the cycle, if you remember, has a health bar of how many? 50 points. So 10 times 5 is 50. If you have a look, each one's worth 10. Now you can change this to whatever you like. It does not matter at all. So this is how we can at least get our combat to happen. Some students have also asked, how can my health be healed? It's easy. You can make an object that the cycle can touch. Could be a heart. And I'm going to put the heart over here. And if the cycle touches the heart, we can say that he has a restoration of health. So we could say when I bump the, let's have a look, heart, I want to heal by how many points? Maybe we'll make it 100. Let's see now if this will work. And I have to code the cycle as well. And one thing I should say is when you program, you can use the keys, the arrow keys, to delete code and to actually then enter it back. I also can use a pencil to get it to this option and then use the mouse to actually drag it down one tile. So I'm going to put my movement code first. So when some of you have asked me how to move the cycle. You have to look at the code like this. You're telling the computer, when something happens, do an action. If I want to move the cycle by pressing a key on the keyboard, when the key is pressed, I will move. Okay, and let's have a look and see what happens now. Alright, so it's 1, 2, I'm just going to wait. Okay, I better get to the ammo. Oh no. Oh, it didn't work. I realized there was one aspect I didn't do in my code. And when you program, you have to tell the character to do it to yourself. So what I mean is, I had the code here, but it didn't do anything because I said heal 100 points, but who to? I had to tell it to apply it to myself. So I have to do the me block. And that is literally just by going to more and then clicking here. Now, if we look, every time we bump the heart, our health is restored. So let's just try it. 1, 2, 3. Go again, and I'm back. 2. Being hit again. Go back, and I'm back. And now Mr. Gibbs is going to have some fun playing around. No, I'll stop here because I'm not that good at KODU. Okay, so that is how you can actually do the health damage by a missile and health in healing. So I've shown you two things. Another thing I want to show you quickly is how to use the movement cursor. So some of you really are stuck in how to get it to move around. Now, one trick with KODU is if you do the left mouse button, it moves this way. If you do the right mouse button, it moves up and down. But if you use the wheel on a mouse, which is a little thin in the center between the left and right mouse button, and anywhere I point, if I roll the wheel, it will actually move the wheel forward and go to this space. If I want to go to the cycle, I just look and point the mouse at the cycle, then move the wheel, and it goes there. If I want the center, I just do that, and I can adjust it then like this. It doesn't do angles, but it will go to the point you wish. So it's very useful. I would recommend that you really position where you move the mouse and use the wheel. A fourth problem that I've seen some students is they go all the way out of the screen. So what that happens is they'll zoom out like this. And then they end up here, totally stuck. So you can get back two ways. Using the mouse wheel, and if that doesn't work, you just double click. So double clicking doesn't work, then I use the mouse wheel. And here I am. I'm back. Alright. Another thing that maybe you might want to know is some of you have asked that you want to go to different levels. Now, doing different levels is a bit tricky because it means that you actually have to have the character have multiple games. What I mean is that we'd have to save this game and we'd then have to create a whole new game and save that as well. So to have two games saved. And then we link them together. Now, personally, I think that's a bit complicated for all of you in the short time that we're doing this at school. And you don't need to do that. So if you want to have different levels on your game, I would suggest you make different lands within the one area. So for example, that's one level. I could do something here. I could do something here and something here and link them up. That is definitely possible. Rather than having to create multiple games and link them by saving one and then loading another. If you wish to do that, I will let you do that, but I don't expect you to do that.